My name is Chelsea Szendi Schieder. I'm a professor in the economics department here at Aoyama Gakuin University. My specialty is modern Japanese history. In particular, I look at social movements and gendered politics in post-war Japanese history and society. In my classes at Aoyama Gakuin University, I teach about contemporary society and also recent history, as well as discussion and cross-cultural communication. So one of the courses that I teach is called Japan in the World. In this course, we examine current critical issues in Japan. Specifically, the topics we cover include immigration, regional diplomacy, environmental issues, and gender issues. And we look at specific cases in Japan today. But as a trained historian, I take a historical approach to help students think through these contemporary issues. I also emphasize the many commonalities rather than differences across nations and national histories through thematic links. So I think of the larger themes as the big picture view that we test and examine with close-up case studies. So for example, in discussing the conditions that created a large ethnically Japanese population in Brazil, the so-called Nikkei Brazilians, the larger themes include thinking about the push-pull factors of migration and the category of diaspora, which means people who've scattered across regions after leaving a geographical place of origin. In this case, the concrete, specific history of what we study in this class, what I call here the case study of Nikkei Brazilians, helps us think about a whole host of issues that relate to migration in general, immigration policy, the policies that are created to integrate immigrants or that alienate immigrants, and also the complex relationship between diaspora and homeland. So we exercise our ability to both see the larger view, the forest, while we also work on zooming in to examine specifics, the individual trees. So in this class, I invite my students to also continually reflect upon their own experiences, how they learned history in school, in their families, from the mass media. And since every group of students that I teach comes from different backgrounds, they bring in their own unique set of experiences and opinions, and I get to learn new things each time as well. The goal, ultimately, is to learn to think critically, reflectively, and also historically. None of these issues have an easy solution, but any resolution would require good analytical skills and attention to the larger historical and global stakes, and also sustained analysis of specific cases and specific historical contexts. So, in this class, we work together to get that kind of broader view while also understanding the specific context and details. For example, to return to the issue of immigration. This issue may be of particular interest to students deciding to study abroad in Japan, whether they intend to immigrate to Japan permanently in the future or not. In the class, we examine the current debates in Japan around immigration, which tend to take the shape of discussions about how to meet serious labor shortages in the world's first super-aged society. There is an idea, however, that Japan is inherently not an immigrant country. But if we look at the longer history and explore the question through the term migration, which means movement both internally and across borders, and we also examine the very nature of borders in Japan, how they developed in the modern period and how they were enforced, we can also see how the movement of people between Japan and the Americas, and also between Japan and Japanese occupied territories, how this history challenges our ideas of Japan as a country that is somehow inherently closed and ethnically homogeneous. So what problems, but also opportunities, can we find in this complex history? I believe that learning this history can help us anticipate and resolve certain obstacles that we face today. Thinking about these specific cases through larger themes helps us learn about Japan, but also helps us work collaboratively and with an eye toward commonalities. Respecting the unique circumstances of each case study also deepens our understanding of how to tailor resolutions to best serve particular contexts, places, and times. So in this class, although we're learning very specifically about contemporary issues and the specific history as it occurred in Japan, we also have a chance to reflect on our own backgrounds, our own histories, and make comparisons that give us a sense of how to work forward collaboratively and help us reflect on our own societies as well. One of my great joys as a teacher at Aoyama Gakuin University is teaching students from a diverse set of backgrounds. So I welcome you to my classroom and in my class discussions at Aoyama Gakuin University, and I look forward to learning more with you and from you.